Hello students, last lecture was actually based on the some basic knowledge of the Raoult's law, and in this lecture also we are going to conclude the same lecture Raoult's law, and we'll study about the relationship of the some graph when two different liquids are mixed together to make a solution. What will be the nature of graph we will discuss in the same lecture, and also we'll try to be evaluate the mole fraction of a component in vapor phase. There are two different types of mole fraction actually. One mole fraction is mole fraction of a component in a liquid phase. Actually you can see there is a liquid as well as vapor now. Whenever the liquid will be there at a given temperature, liquid get evaporated easily. So some of the particles of the liquid come in the vapor phase, and the same component also present in the liquid phase. So there are, we can say, there are two different types amount of particles. The one amount of particle present in the vapor, one amount of particle present in the liquid. So what is the relation of the Raoult's law with a partial pressure or a total pressure? That is actually the mole fraction of a component in a liquid phase, which is indicated by x, but for the same concept we can also be calculate the mole fraction of any component in a vapor phase, and for that we have to use the one of the basic law of Dalton given by class in class 11. The topic was in class 11, but we'll discuss in the same lecture also. So today we'll try to conclude the Raoult's law. Okay, so before starting, I'm just remind you the thing what delivered in the last lecture. In the last lecture, we try to be learn there are two different liquid. One may be a more volatile, means having a more tendency to be escape easily. One is a less volatile. So suppose liquid B is a more volatile than liquid A. Suppose liquid B is a more volatile than liquid A. Therefore, the contribution of pressure, the contribution of a total pressure, the PB must be greater than PA. The PB must be greater than PA because B component is more volatile. B component is more volatile. That's why the partial pressure of a B, the partial pressure of a B must be greater than the partial pressure of A, because there are more contribution of vapor of B component. There you can see these vapors are actually the mixture of component A, component B, and there is, you can see, vapor of A and B, vapor of A and B, and mole fraction for that you can write as Ya and Yb. You can write here Ya and Yb, mole fraction. This is called mole fraction of component A and component B in a vapor phase. Mole fraction of component A and component B in a vapor phase, and this is a mole fraction of A and B in a liquid phase. Okay, fine. In a liquid phase. Clear? Actually, Raoult's law give a relationship between a partial pressure and total pressure of any given component with a mole fraction of any component in a liquid phase. So that is called the partial pressure of component A. The partial pressure of component A is actually the product of the same component with a mole fraction, and same time the partial pressure of component B will be, that was the formula we evolved in the last lecture. So P and PB will be P naught A XA, P naught B XB, where P naught A and P naught B is a vapor pressure of component A and component B in a pure state, when they are not mixed. When they mixed together, they form a solution, and now the mole fraction is equal to the XA plus XB equal to 1. There is only one component A, so XA will be 1. Here is only component now, so XA will be 1. Here XB will also be 1, but here XA plus XB will be 1. Because for any given liquid, for any given solution, for any given liquid, the mole fraction always will be unity. The mole fraction always will be unity. That's why this is a simple graph between a partial pressure and mole fraction. Actually, the particles of liquid participate in the evaporation process. The particles of the liquid participate in the process of evaporation. So there is a large number of particle of component. There will be a more evaporation, and that's why the partial pressure exerted by the liquid is also will be greater. So as we increase the mole fraction of any component, the pressure of the same component also increases. So that's why this is a positive slope with an increasing, you can see a positive slope indicated as we increase the mole fraction of a component, partial pressure of the component also increases. But when these two different component mix together to make a solution, we have a mixed graph also that I have to be explained here, that we have to be learn also. So we'll learn after some time. First, clear this thing. According to Raoult's law, when two different liquid component mixed together, the partial pressure of any component is the product of mole fraction of same component and vapor pressure of same component in a free state or a pure state. That is called P naught A. So that's why P equal to P naught A XA or PV equal to P naught B XV. When we sum these P and PV, we will get a value of P total. That's why P total equal to P naught A XA plus P naught B XV. P naught A XA plus P naught B XV. Now class, you have to learn that if the pressure of both the component sum together to make a total pressure, we have to learn which component having more contribution for a P total, and that is PB. Because B is a more volatile, B having more tendency to be skipped. That's why the PB has greater contribution than PA. So we can evolve the same formula in the terms of mole fraction of second component. Therefore, we can write here X equal to 1 minus XB. If both are having a some value equal to 1, then X equal to 1 minus XB. Now, the same value when we use here, when X is substituted by 1 minus XB, this formula will change into the terms of XB only. The P total only now depend upon the one of the component of the mole fraction, that is the second component, because I just assumed the second component is more volatile. So the formula will be P total P naught A 1 minus XB plus P naught B XB. When solve the formula, P naught A minus P naught A XB plus P naught B XB. Just rearrange the formula. P naught A plus P naught B minus P naught A into XB. So P total equal to P naught A plus P naught B minus P naught A into XB. This is the formula of Raoult's law. Indicating the total pressure of any given solution is always directly proportional to the mole fraction of the one of the component. There is a tightly proportional now. P naught A, P naught B and P naught A. This whole value is actually a pure state value which should be a constant. For any given solvent, the vapor pressure is always constant. For any given solvent, the vapor pressure is always constant. That's why P naught A, P naught B and P naught A will be constant. In that case, P total is directly proportional to the one of the component which is more volatile, which having more contribution in a total pressure. So according to Raoult's law, as the mole fraction of any one of the component increases or decreases, the total pressure of the solution also will be increases or decreases respectively. Always increases or decreases respectively. Here the XB is on the basis of which one is more volatile. Now we have to study the graph of the same. Here see the graph. These both graphs are actually mixed together. First, see from this side. This is a pressure. This is also a pressure. As in this condition, suppose the mole fraction of first component is 0. The pressure of PA is also a 0. As the mole fraction of XA increases, the pressure also increases according to this graph. And when mole fraction of first component becomes 1, it indicated there is only one component. This borderline indicated there is only one component because XA equal to 1. If XA equal to 1, the mole fraction of second component will be 0. Means that is the borderline indicated the condition of pure solvent. And this is the P naught A. The intercept when the graph of the slope of the component first pressure intercept at the borderline, it indicated the vapor pressure of the first component in a pure state because there is not any other component. XB is a 0. No any particle of a second component. This is also indicated for the from this side as XB equal to 0, PB is also 0. As XB increases, PB increases, and when XB is a maximum, that is 1, the PB will be maximum, that will be P naught B. P naught B, why P naught B? Because this is the condition of pure solvent because there is not any other component present. Pure solvent means when there is only a single component present in the given liquid, single component. If XA is 0 means there is only one component present, that is a XB means component B. So that's why that will be a P naught B. It means the graph of a solution is actually varies in between these two borderline. The graph of a solution will there will be in between there. So that's why the P total that is a total pressure of solution will be smaller than the P naught B and greater than a P naught A. This slope which actually join the P naught B and P naught A intercept explain about the total pressure of the solution. So total pressure of the solution is always lower than the one of the component which is highly volatile and greater than the one of the component which is a low volatility. The P total is always in between P naught B and P naught A. This is the graph of this is the slope of the solution. This is the slope of a first solvent, PA value, P equal to P naught XA. So this slope indicated P naught XA, this slope indicated P naught BXB, and this intercept between P naught B, P naught A is actually indicated the total pressure of the solution. This is the condition of ideal solution. If are mixing two different component of liquid and the solution behave as ideal, then this graph will be applicable. Whenever the solution follow Raoult's law, solution must be called ideal solution, and that is the situation when this graph will be applicable. If this graph will not be applicable, the solution must not be follow Raoult's law, and solution must not be called ideal solution. That will be a condition of non-ideal solution. We'll explain in the next lecture. So you can see figure told about ideal solution graph where two different components are there. Between these y-axis there is a solution varies. You can see the one of the graph, actually this is a kind of slope. P naught B is a higher position than that P naught A because I just assumed B is a more volatile than A. If A will be more volatile, this will be at higher position and this will be at a lower point. This will be at a lower point. Actually, this is all about the assumption of in which we are just maintaining which one is a more volatile, which one is a less volatile. So I am just assuming B is a more volatile than A. So this graph will be from a higher position of B to higher lower position of A, and in between them there will be a graph of slope of solution P total, which is equal to the PA plus PB. So from the graph you can see the contribution of B is always very high. The contribution of B is always very high. How? Suppose at any point we are just taking any point. At this point the XA is very small because this from this side left to right the XA, the mole fraction of A is traveling. So XA is very lower and XB is very high, means the contribution of B is very high. That's why the vapor pressure of a solution will be very greater, will be very high. So the contribution of components can be calculated on the basis of graph. At any point you can just calculate what is the contribution of mole fraction of the components and what will be the vapor pressure of the solution. As the contribution of B will decreases, the vapor pressure of a solution also decreases, because this slope is from left to right decreasing. That's why the contribution of A increases. Contribution, there will be more contribution of A, low contribution of B. The vapor pressure of the solution will be lower because A is a less volatile, B is a more volatile. Always solution depend upon the vapor pressure of a solution generally depend upon the one of the component which is more volatile, that has to be learned. So according to Raoult's law, there is a relationship between a vapor pressure of any component with a mole fraction of a same component in a liquid phase. But if you want to calculate the mole fraction in a vapor phase, Ya and Yb, so what will happen? Actually for that we have to use Dalton's law. Actually, according to Dalton's law, Pa equal to Ya into P total or Pb equal to Yb into P total, or for any component like suppose ith component Yi into P total. This is according to Dalton's law. According to Dalton's law, the partial pressure of any component is the product of total pressure of a solution with a mole fraction of the same component in the vapor phase, as P equal to Ya into P total. And this is actually based on the Dalton's theory, Dalton's law. So I just try to calculate the want to show you what is the Dalton's law is actually. What is the Dalton's law? Just try to learn actually. Actually, according to Dalton's law, the total pressure of any given mixture, if there is, suppose there is a container, suppose there is a container and having different gases, mixture of gases, suppose gas A, gas B, gas C, gas D. Suppose container having 4 different components, all they are gases, component A, B, C, D. So what will be the total pressure? What will be the total pressure of in the container? What will be the total pressure in the container? The total pressure of the container will be the partial pressure of A plus partial pressure of B plus partial pressure of C plus partial pressure of D. So total pressure of any given condition or of any given container always will be the partial pressure, the sum of partial pressure of all the gases. That was the Dalton's law. That was the Dalton's law. But we know that from the ideal gas equation, we know that from ideal gas equation, PV equal to nRT, PV equal to nRT. For any given condition, we can write now, suppose P equal to, so we can write here Na RT by V. Look at the condition, the volume of the container will not be changed. So volume is a constant, R is a universal constant and T will remain constant. If at a given temperature we are going to calculate the partial pressure of any gas, then P equal to Na, that is the number of moles of a component A, RT by V. The same way, PV equal to NV, RT by V. Suppose these are the equation. This is the first equation according to Dalton's law. Total pressure of a container will be the sum of the partial pressure of all the components, and from the ideal gas equation, the partial pressure of any component will be the number of moles of the same component Na and RT by V. PV equal to NV by RT by V. PC equal to NC RT by V. PD equal to ND RT by V. So we can calculate when we putting these equations in the equation first. When we putting this equation in equation first, what will happen? What will get? What will get? P total equal to P total equal to, so RT by V will be common now. RT by V, because all they have RT by V, and there will be Na plus NV plus NC plus ND RT by V. Suppose equation number 4. So when value of PA, PV, PC and PD are we put on the value equation first, we will get the P total equal to Na plus Nb plus Nc plus Nd, मतलब कि number of moles of the different components and RT by V. Okay, if equation first, equation second or equation third or equation so on will divided by equation fourth, if we will divide it by equation 4, so what will happen? When suppose equation second divided by equation 4, will get PA upon P total, Na upon this value, and RT by V will be cancelled out. RT by V will be cancelled out. So you can see the, on just dividing the equation second by the equation fourth, will get the PA upon P total equal to Na upon Na plus Nb plus Nc plus Nd. This is the mole of the first component and this is the total mole of the mixture, that is a solution. So this is called the mole fraction. This is called the mole fraction. And mole fraction for the gases now, mole fraction for the gases, and in this condition I just taken mole fraction of the gases as Y, because We already taken mole fraction in a liquid phase is x. So mole fraction of a gaseous phase or vapor phase will be y. So we can put here a upon Na plus Nb plus Nc plus Nd. Instead of that, we can write here mole fraction of a first component as Ya. Mole fraction of first component as a Ya. So we can write here Ya. This is the Dalton's law. This is the Dalton's law. You can see Pa upon P total equal to Ya. So Pa will be Ya into P total. If there will be Pb, then there will be Yb. Pb equal to Yb into P total. If there will be Pc, then there will be Pc also, Yc also. So according to Dalton's law, we can calculate the mole fraction of any given component in a vapor phase, and with the help of Raoult's law, we can actually calculate the P total. We can calculate the P total because P total equal to P naught A plus P naught B minus P naught A XB, where XB is a mole fraction of B component in a liquid phase and YB is a mole fraction of B component in a vapor phase. That is a big difference. Okay, you have to learn that. So this is all about how do we calculate, how do we actually learn the Raoult's law and their mathematical approach with the Dalton's law. What is the learning concept of the graph of the Raoult's law for ideal solution? Next lecture we'll study about the ideal and non-ideal solution and their behaviors with the graph and deviation of the ideal non-ideal solutions. There is also a behavioral difference between ideal and non-ideal solution. So next lecture will depend upon totally what is the basic concept why the solution are not obey the Raoult's law. So you have to learn first all these then stand for the numerical concept of the total or the Raoult's law. Board and competitions both there is requirement of both the component. You have to learn the vapor phase condition Dalton's law and liquid phase condition Raoult's law. That is the difference also. Dalton's totally explained about the vapor phase condition and Raoult's law given the relationship between a liquid phase conditions. Okay, so students, note down all these things and we'll meet in the next lecture with the next topic. Thank you.